Alrighty. Take one more puffity puff. I'm good.
One more chug-a-lug.
Chug-a-lug, vaporoonie. Couple hits of the meth pipe, and we'll get to it. Smoking that devil's dick. Gotta get ready. Woo!
Oh, fuck.
Thank you, right. Satan.
Welcome to the Trashcats Trashcast. I'm Richard.
I'm Steven.
Today we're going to talk about black holes. But first, Steven, how was your week?
Oh, man, my week's been okay. Feeling pretty decent today. Got my deadlifts in.
Nice.
Got my glasses, new glasses.
Hell yeah. Dr. Professor Steven.
Dr. Professor. I played some Mario Party last weekend with Sam. That was really fun. He beat me on the final round with the bonus stars. So
was it the new Mario Party?
No, it was on N64, old school.
Oh, old school. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then been going through my Pokemon card collection. Dude, I got a first edition holographic Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise.
Dude, be selling them shits.
Dude, I know. I'm listing them this week, and my goal is to sell all the old cards to buy my back piece tattoo.
Nice.
Because it's like, dude, this binder is like 5 Gs. Fucking Pokemon cards.
Yeah, dude, get that shit.
I'm trying. It's such a ridiculous process. But all in all, week's doing okay. Just staying busy with school and shit. So, what about you?
My week's been a little on and off. So like in the last couple of weeks, my anxiety's been kicking my ass like crazy. But it's mostly because I knew that our restaurant was going to close.
Yeah.
And we just didn't know when. So we couldn't make like a public statement because we don't know when.
That's so ridiculous.
And then it was announced like, hey, we're going to close in like 4 days. So we
a lot of unclaimed gift cards, huh?
Probably.
Yeah.
So we because of that, like a huge weight was kind of lifted from my shoulders because I realized that it's not my circus anymore, not my monkeys. It's not something I need to worry about, and it still doesn't feel real yet. Like my last day was yesterday, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel like I had all day today. I did, fucked around the house and did jack shit. It was nice, but it still feels like, it could just be like a weekend. It's not really sunken in yet. And I have a new thing lined up already anyways, but. Right.
Honestly, you could have even had more time off and been good.
Yeah. Luckily, my dad's coming up this weekend and he's going to stick around for a little bit and we'll, hang out here while I got some time off. It's usually, I'm going to work and shit.
Yeah.
So that's going to be nicer.
That'll be good shit. Oh, also I was going to mention, my verdict is in and I've decided, fuck the NFTs.
Tell me more about that.
It's ridiculous. It's all ridiculous.
Absolutely it's ridiculous, but
because like we've been doing these art forgery episodes on the art houses, I've realized all these people, it's just digital art houses.
Yeah.
So it's just like to get your shit like made into the non-refundable tokens, you got to go through these stupid art houses, digital art houses, and all of the art selling for like big dollars. Most of it's garbage. And it's all like a digital social politics game now. I
good.
think parts of it are outstanding, but I don't know. Just seems pretty dumb.
Any opportunity that gives a creative person the upper hand in taking money from rich people, it's good in nature, but when it becomes impossible for other people to then do that, other artists to then do that because of the state of it.
Yeah, it's just it's just a very complicated, weird world. That said, I do plan on trying it as an experiment, but I think I've decided I don't like it. We'll see.
Fair.
You got any honorable mentions for this week?
I do. It's nothing, people can really search or look up, but I just wanted to give a shout out to my cousin Keith. He started a new D&D campaign. He's been DMing the one that I've been playing for the last few years. He just started a new campaign involving you.
Yes.
And I think he's got a lot. We only had one session so far, but I really liked it a lot, and I think there's going to be a lot of fun stuff to come of it. The way he set it up, it's basically, it could run, for fucking forever. We want it to. The way that it's kind of it's not just one story. It's, kind of you have a hub base and you go off and do other stuff. But yeah, just shout out to Keith. Thank you for setting up this kick-ass campaign.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. I'm super psyched to play as a Goliath. I think that'll be fun.
Fuck yeah. What do you got?
Okay, so let's start. I was just going to mention, this is one of my favorite fucking songs. We just listened to it. Blue Flowers by Cool Keith, a.k.a. Dr. Octagon.
Yeah, good song.
That is my jam.
So, kick ass.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to Cool Keith, you got to get with it. So with the Blue Flower theme, it's in the chat. So I love these old covers by Cool Keith too. And then the vinyl pressing. I love those original vinyls. That blue for the Blue Flowers cover is so fucking good.
Yeah.
But then this painting is the first one. It is by Hendrik Framatu. It's an old still life of some flowers, some pink, blue, and red flowers. And dude, this is my favorite still life ever.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
It's insane. I don't know. It just I've been obsessed with this piece. I recently used it in my own art, and I just have spent so much time looking at this.
The blue seems so both unnatural, but yet still extremely I didn't question it until maybe the third time I've looked at it now.
Right? The color combination, it's absurd.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. So we'll be posting that, and then this next one is it's another painting titled Monk Meditating Near a Ruin by Moonlight, by Frederick Marinus Krausman, I think. These old-time names are killing me, but I love this painting of, what do you think?
I really like, it's once again something I didn't notice until multiple times after looking at it. The arc way across the top that's painted and, to show that the viewpoint is coming from inside of a structure. Yeah, that is some
unique perspective kind of work, especially for this time period.
Yeah. It looks really neat. And the rest of it, of course, the rest of the work is gorgeous. It's just, even the details in the creek, stuff like that, the highlight of the moon.
Yeah, I love the old, the gloomy moonlight above ruins paintings. And I just, normally I would prefer there not be the subject, but he's small and in the distance. I really like the idea of this monk meditating, questioning his life in the ruins under the moonlight. I just think it's beautiful.
Kick-ass piece.
Yep. Well, we'll share those. Those are my favorite highlights of this week. And that's it.
Cool.
You want to kick us off with our subject? Yeah. What are we doing?
So we're talking about black holes.
Arts and science. Look at us.
We're geniuses.
Uh-huh. So what is a black hole?
A black hole is a collapsed star that's imploded by its own gravity. Its continuous pull of matter around it is so powerful that not even light can escape it. Think a dark star that roams around galaxies, taking with it everything that it touches. They're far enough away that they aren't a threat, but they're close enough to make us curious.
Dude, that's so fucking metal.
Yeah, it's the most brutal thing about space.
Super hardcore. If I was asked what a black hole is, I feel like I would have the idea of that, but I wouldn't be able to articulate exactly what that is.
Yeah. And there are some, common misconceptions that we'll get into in a little bit, but
Right.
It's definitely one of my favorite things to study about space.
Yeah, you were like super into this before we did. Yeah, it's fun.
Space in general is like my thing. I really like even like watching meteor showers and stuff like that. I invest a lot of time into that.
So do you follow like not necessarily moon phases, but like the big events?
Yeah. So I usually don't get to see the Geminids anymore, which is the meteor shower in the wintertime, mostly because the skies are shitty here.
Yeah.
Unless I go camping or something up north, and it's shitty weather to do that here. So I usually can only catch the I think it's the Perseids is in the summertime. So that's the one I can usually catch if I take the time to go somewhere where there's not enough light pollution to kill it.
Dude, I miss camping. I may have mentioned, I feel bad because I'm going to for sure butcher her name. But I have an artist friend on Instagram. I believe it's Hair Medell. I know it's probably pronounced different, but she's an amateur space photographer. So she has her like own camera lens, like set up. It's all like custom made, and it's like she's getting shots of like stars so fucking far away and like beautiful moon shots and stuff, and it's like that just seems crazy to me. You could just build that kind of shit in your backyard and actually get good shots.
Yeah, that's wild. The people that can get awesome pictures of shit is it's pretty incredible to me.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not interested enough to invest in the money into doing it. Especially when there's work. Yeah, and there's so many people that come up with good pictures. That's enough for me.
Yeah, she like camps out all night to get like just the right shot. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you believe in aliens?
I believe that there is definitely life outside of our planet. I don't think it's in our solar system. I don't think it's definitely possible that it's in our galaxy. But there's not enough evidence to support it. That it's, close enough that they've received, any of our transmissions or any, because we send out, radio signals and stuff all the time, and
right.
We haven't really gotten anything back.
Now, didn't they prove that they found bacteria on Mars? Isn't that already a thing?
I don't know if that's a thing. That would be, it's not that I would say that it's wrong, that that's not one that I've read.
I think they did. And I don't,
Are you thinking of that movie with, what was it, Matt Damon?
No, dude, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check this. But I was going to ask you, oh, wait, what do you think of, like the Tic Tac video? Like the new UFO videos? Like the New York Times wrote that article.
About UFO videos?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess I don't think if extraterrestrial life is in any way interested in making contact with us, it would be for one of two things. And it would be, if they want to make peace with us and like trade of some kind, like they could have done that already. I don't think they have, because no one would be able to keep that fucking secret. If the other alternative is that they want to, take our planet from us, and then, there wouldn't be any question about it. It would be over before it began for us. You can't fight laser guns or you can't fight lasers with guns, or whatever, crazy shit that they have.
See, I definitely think aliens exist, but I think more than likely it's nothing like we think of them. Yeah.
There's actually a really cool thing on, I think it's on Netflix, but it's about different planets, like exoplanets that they've, found, and they're, based off like what the
I watched that.
yeah, what the elements are like
Yeah.
in that, on that planet, what kind of life would be there if it was there, like what we think it could look like and how it could act. And yeah, that's some wild shit. I really like that one.
Okay, scientists found bacteria inside. No, I believe they found evidence that they thought bacteria exists on Mars, but maybe they haven't found.
It's definitely worth looking at. There's enough signs that there used to be water on Mars that it's, it's what's down below the, the crust of the planet doesn't, it could be anything. There could be, you said, like single-celled organisms that still exist there.
Exactly. There has to be. There, like, I can't. There's so many fucking stars and planets. There's no way there's not a bacteria or single. Like, I feel like it's impossible to say no form of extraterrestrial life exists.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. Here's a fun thing. Is it scarier to think that we're alone, or that there's something else out there?
I think it's way scarier to think we're alone.
I agree.
Now, Lil B, right?
Yeah.
Vaguely. He had this interview where he's like, just look at fish, man. Fish are aliens. Like,
all right.
It's hard, but it's like, I don't know. I just think, like, aliens probably aren't going to be anything like we think they are. And life on Earth is just so weird and diverse. It's like, I can't imagine, even if it's so different, it's like, we have so much fucking alien shit on Earth, Yeah.
Fish are our ancestors, man.
Yeah. Wild motherfuckers. So you believe in aliens. Do you think aliens use black holes? That's what I was getting to. Yeah.
Well, there is the whole, it's a wormhole theory.
Okay. What's the difference?
So a black hole is just, it's a dark star. So it's literally, it's a finite point of infinitely dense gravity that's continuously, or infinitely dense mass that's, has this wild gravity that everything is sucked into, and it crushes into this point. So one of the theories that a lot of scientists are, looking into, and it would fit with not only string theory, but also with Einstein's general relativity, that it does have an exit. So what a black hole does with space-time is it pulls it in. So on the idea of a wormhole is just like, it's a black hole on one side and on the other that connect to each other. Right. It would kind of is how that would look.
But not all black holes would be wormholes. Is that correct? We don't know.
It would be fair to assess that if one is, then others are as well.
Interesting.
But there's really no way to test that. Right. Just as there's no real way to test, what is really going on inside of a black hole. And that's where the whole discussion of that comes from, is like, where is it ever growing, or is there some kind of a release somewhere else? And we'll get into that too in a minute. I got a bunch of details on that.
Matter's ever really destroyed. So what theoretically could aliens use black holes to travel?
Theoretically, yes.
Now, what about like...
they couldn't use black holes to travel. They could use wormholes to travel, yeah.
Now, what if... Like, I know it's so difficult to even, like they're still so far... The nearest one is so far away from Earth. Like, getting to and even photographing a black hole is, like, problematic or difficult right now.
Right.
What about, like, future sci-fi version of Earth? Could we use... I guess we don't know yet, but theoretically using black holes as a way to make life on Earth more sustainable as like trash compactors? Like, could be aliens be shuttling their trash into black holes? Is that how we get rid of plastic in the oceans?
I mean, that's definitely a theory, and it would be interesting to find that if that was the way that we found out that they were wormholes, was that we just started throwing stuff in there, and then it started appearing in other places.
Yeah, it'd be so weird, but it could appear so far away.
Yeah, we just need to lift that big old mountain of that island of garbage out in the ocean and just haul it up to the black hole, haul it up to Cygnus.
Right. One of the coolest ones I've seen, like recent discoveries, is they've been finding they've manufactured bacteria that can eat plastic.
Oh, I've seen that actually.
Dude, that's so fucking cool. Like, you could have your landfills, dug out, and then use a liquid form of this bacteria to help eat all these plastics up.
Yeah. There was cool. Even, I mean, similar to that, not as kind of wild, I guess, but when we were started brewing beer in Florida, we had the guy that came out and was cleaning out, like we had private, like our own septic tank kind of set up, is the way the homes are set up down there. So the guy said, if you take brewer's yeast and, whether it's used or whatever, which we had plenty of, and flush it down the toilet, that bacteria will, kind of make its way down there and will eat, like, some of the particles that don't, that clog it up and make it shitty. Make it literally shitty.
Gotta clean them ship pipes.
Right? So that's a good way to... Pro tip, put some brewer's yeast down your toilet.
Interesting. Now,
I mean, for people that have, septic tanks.
Septic tanks. So where the fuck did black holes come from?
So black holes come into existence specifically when a massive star dies. And there's a few outcomes when stars die. It's typically based around their size. But for example, like when our sun dies, it will not become a black hole because it's not big enough. Not that we would survive the initial explosion anyhow. Our star is more likely to become a pulsar or a white dwarf. When the star is large enough, though, it's sometimes billions the size of our own sun, and it loses the power to fuel itself. The entire weight of the star collapses on itself. So it's like, it's got all this momentum, this entropy that's moving, it's got all this fuel, and then it starts to lose it, but it's so massive that it just can't, its own gravity pulls it in. So the entire weight of the star collapses inwards. Speculatively, it's believed that it continues to collapse into an infinitely dense, infinitely small point known as a singularity. And the singularity is the inevitable. Once you've reached the event horizon, or the point of no return around a black hole, any matter or data is now part of the dark star. It'll continue to be pulled into this infinitely dense area, as sort of falling forever as the black hole absorbs more from its surroundings.
Now, what's the difference between entropy and atrophy?
Actually,
atrophy is like a muscle thing. Like there's definitely a comparison there.
Entropy is when you have, so like the best way to describe it is it's chaos. It's when the molecules in something begin to vibrate and move faster and faster and faster. It has more entropy then. So it's like with water, when you have an ice cube, the molecules are stagnant. They kind of hum together and hold their form. That's low entropy. And as you heat it, it just, they start to move faster and they vibrate more harshly. It's gaining entropy. And that would be high entropy as it starts to boil, but that's for water at least. And then when you have that on such a galactic scale of, like the nuclear reaction inside of a sun, that's taking place inside of a star, it's some wild shit going on in there.
Yeah, I wonder the etymology of the words, because atrophy is the degeneration of cells, muscle tissue. They definitely share like a root word in the degeneration aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, dude, I was just watching something about the siege of Constantinople.
Yeah.
And this reminded me about the water and the ice cube with the molecules moving.
Yeah.
So Constantinople is being sieged, and it's like the biggest siege ever. These cannons are like fucking the size of a bus. Like huge cannons trying to smash the 5 layers of wall. But they also had these the siegers had Serbian miners tunneling under the walls, and the Constantinople knights and warriors and shit, to try to stop the miners, they would use barrels of water, and they would look for the vibrations on the water to figure out where the people were mining from.
Oh, wow.
And there was this Scottish warrior who was like an expert in defensive engineering, and that was his tactic. He would move all these buckets of water, big barrels of water, to look for the vibrations, to sense the movements of the miners like way underground. And then
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, and then they would find the tunnels, and they'd tunnel down into the tunnelers, and they'd pour Greek fire in there and smoke them out.
Fuck them.
Yeah, crazy.
Fuck them up.
Right. So why are people so obsessed with black holes? Is it because they're so interesting as an idea, or do they have like real world like effect on us?
So I think it's definitely because they're just cool. I think at least when I first heard the word black hole, I got, it's like, it's frightening, when you're a kid and you think about it. Like when you think like, oh, these things are like out here just eating shit up, and like they're, as far as we can tell, unstoppable and unending. They will just continue to, take more shit in as they go. But one of the most prolific reasons for people studying black holes, it's less about what they do, but rather how they do it. So the theory of gravity as we know it, which is general relativity, it works within our solar systems and like from observable day-to-day life, and even like a lot of space. But when you add the cosmic scale of something like that's so dense and abnormal, the formula just doesn't equate. And it's the same thing with quantum mechanics. Gravity just works different, at least appears to work different on a subatomic level. And as good as our understanding of gravity is, it's not always perfect, and it isn't universal. And that pun is fully intended.
Yeah, I think people, I think it's almost kind of forgotten, especially when you're learning like in school about science shit for the first time. Like gravity is still a theory.
Yeah.
Like
I thought that was cool when I realized that, when I learned that.
Right. It's like, this is our best understanding of it, but there could be, whether it's other theories of energy or whatever, in effect that alter gravity, or, who the fuck knows? We don't have it figured out yet. And that's kind of fun.
That used to be my go-to when people would say, well, theory of evolution, it's just a theory. And I'd say, so is gravity.
Right.
Gravity's just a theory. We don't have that together yet. It's just what we can tell.
Right. Now, what if we find out one day that black holes are actually the aliens?
The black holes themselves are aliens?
Yeah, that they're some sort of living, omnipotent being.
Oh, then we're fucked.
Yeah,
we're just absolutely fucked. I mean, I think we'd be fucked if any kind of sentient creature could figure out how to leave their planet and get to ours, whether it was because they knew that we were here, because they had the communication skills, or they just happened upon us and stopped. There's no fighting that.
It depends. What if they're like not smart?
Well, they wouldn't. They'd have to be smart to be able to get here.
What if they're like a frog-like creature who gets here on accident? You know what I mean? Like they're a simple,
like within like an asteroid or some shit that hits.
Yeah,
If something
like a worm, like bacteria from an asteroid, because we're made of all the shit from asteroids.
It's possible that that's already happened. There's actually a theories about where life came from here, and of course there's the amino acid fucking not amino acid, but the pools of life where we kind of came from, but like it had to start somewhere, and we already know that the fucking, what are they called, the water bears, that can survive in space and all kinds of shit after being frozen or whatever. So like life could absolutely come here in an asteroid or something. But what I mean is, like, if there's something that traveled here on its own will,
I get what you mean.
Then we would be fucked. But otherwise, that might just be some invasive shit.
Most likely. But what if, they could have like weird tech, but maybe they don't even, like, what if they don't even have emotions? Or like,
that's even scarier.
Yeah, or there's no true concept of war or conquest. You know what I mean? Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, if they're not looking for conquest of any type, that it would be extremely interesting.
Yeah.
Not that I think it's impossible, but I think, or not plausible, but I think that it's, that would be some really wild shit, because I worry more about then how people here are going to react to that and be untrustworthy of them, just like we're untrustworthy of ourselves. But then what if they and then decide that based on that reaction, then we're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you believe in any like the UFO-ologist people or like abduction stuff?
Nah.
Man.
No, not really.
I'm with you. There's the one dude, the dude that worked at Area 51. We'll circle back to this, because there's one dude that has some level of credibility, but I generally think the UFO community is really ate up.
Yeah, I think they always point at, all the stories are so similar, and it's like, that doesn't mean anything. People have been copying other people's work for years. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. It's confusing. There's a lot of mental illness in the believing community also.
Yeah.
So what about like there's a lot of black holes, right?
Right. So not only is there a supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, but there are many, many others. They roaming the arms of the Milky Way. They exist in other galaxies too. In fact, observation tells us now that every galaxy has a super black hole at its center. It would be like the star to the solar system that is the galaxy, and it's what more or less powers the spin, or the movement of the inertia of the stars in the galaxy. I think recently, they got the picture of the one black hole, right? So
yeah, was that a rendering, or was that one a spectrometry photo?
That was with spectrometry.
Gotcha.
That was I forget the actual date. I think it was back in August when they started taking it. I might be wrong on that. But it was just released in March of this year.
Right. And they used, what was it? Multiple radio telescopes based on Earth, all acting together, as well as multiple NASA spacecrafts, all attuned to the different varieties of X-ray light.
Yeah. It's in the photo. It looks, for someone that's not familiar with, space photos, it looks pretty lackluster. It looks like just an orange blob and like a blurry black or kind of gray dot in the middle. But there was so much involved with it. It was it 55 million light years away?
Yeah, and they estimated 6.5 billion times the mass of our sun.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I thought I saw something like black holes were like 10 miles across. This is like mad. I get it now. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the white dwarfs. No, not the white dwarfs. I think it's the pulsars are like 10 miles. There can be like 10 miles across.
Gotcha. And the light shining around the black hole in the picture is the result of gases being pulled into the star and reacting with violent electromagnetic brilliance.
It's really cool. Like there's a lot of like the artist renderings of black holes and stuff, and they all they some of them have the stream that's going vertically, and then they have all these rings around it and these different this glow, and it's like where if light doesn't escape, I always wonder like where does that come from?
I did find that this one photo that was a real one, and it had like the big stream like being pulled into the black hole, and supposedly the star had already been consumed, and the stream was the trail of gases that are slowly being pulled in.
Yeah, that was
cool.
The one of the sun, right? Or the star that was being spaghettified.
Yeah, spaghettification, aka the coolest way for a star to die. It's the process when a star crosses past with a black hole and is ripped to shreds. And it's so cool in all the descriptions of this. It's funny all the science writing about space shit, because they always come up with like these wild names, or like that everything's very physical and extreme. It then triggers a, what is that word?
Months long?
What is that?
Meaning it's multiple months long.
A months-long tidal disruption event, which can shine as brightly as a supernova. What the fuck is a supernova?
So a supernova is an event when when a sun explodes.
Oh, right. A tidal disruption event appears kind of like a cartoon where someone is being sucked into something. Their body goes thin and stretches as they are pulled into a source of suckage. God, I love spaghettification. The star is literally ripped apart, unable to avoid the pull of the unfathomable gravity. Swirling with the rotation caused by its own inertia and the movement of the black hole, leaving a streak of star stuff as it is stretched and manipulated by the dark star itself.
And all this being said, the existence of black holes will literally never affect your day-to-day life. Unless you're interested in astrophysics or cosmology, it's just a really cool and wild thing that happens way out there.
Does the black hole spin? You know how they show it in like art sometimes? Yeah.
So it would make sense to have some kind of velocity of its own. I don't know for certain though. I'm not going to pretend that I know the answer to that. But when you think of like, water going down the drain kind of thing, like it should, there's a momentum that
to the pool,
you don't have to put your finger in the thing and spin it. Eventually it'll do it, it'll like that motion of sucking, I guess. I was looking for a better word than that of pulling into itself. There's probably something there. Although, I'm not 100% sure on that. If you're thinking that, or if it's in the realm of, if you're thinking about like the entropy of it, where it's constantly gaining more, then it should. But I don't know.
Man, I have this buddy I need to link you up with sometime. He actually writes for astrophysicist publications.
That's dope.
Dude, like he is one of those guys where you're just like, if he gets into it, it's just so far over my head.
Yeah.
Like
I would have loved to get into like theoretical physics and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's so much math involved.
I know.
Fuck that.
God, that's exactly what my experience with it was too. And I really enjoy math, but there's that certain level where it just gets, you're either like geared for it or you're not.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of misconceptions and old ideas, and I think I get lost in this sometimes because it's kind of crazy. Even over just our lifetime, our understanding of these things have changed a lot.
Yeah, and some of it's based on, observational stuff, and some of it's based on, things that we theorize that theories that we've worked out, with more information and different simulations. All the simulations they've run are really wild. So I think one of the most common misconceptions is it's not actually a hole. Unless it is a wormhole, but that's not what, when we talk about black holes, that's not what we're talking about.
I heard someone that he was actually a scientist. It wasn't a crazy person, but their idea was that, with what is it? A black hole in every galaxy, right?
Multiple. Yeah.
Multiple. So their thought was that these were the gateways, that each black hole goes to the new galaxy kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a fun idea.
Yeah. So I think the idea of it being a black hole, and this is just from like what I've put together, I think it comes from when they depict a black hole on a scale of space-time. Like usually like in most like documentaries and stuff, they show it in this way. When you're looking at gravity's effect that way, you can think of space-time like a blanket, when it's stretched out and being held on all sides. And then when you put something on it, the blanket gives into the gravity of that object and it will sink down a bit. And like you can roll a marble or something around it really fast and it may like stay up and like around, the blanket for a minute, but eventually it's going to fall into the center where the object is on the blanket. And
see, I do not understand that at all. I've watched so many videos of space-time and like the way the idea of visualizing it with fabric it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's a shitty way to, I think it's a shitty way to visually represent it for people that aren't, because you're seeing like so what, like it's sitting on a sheet, like it doesn't make sense, it doesn't translate well. But
it's like a 2D depiction of something that's 3D.
Yeah, it's a good way to compare different measurements of things, I think, but it's not the most accurate for a visual learning tool, I think. So if an object were infinitely dense, it would suck the center of the blanket down like for eternity. Not breaking it, just pulling that piece down with it. The result would appear as if the blanket curves down into a never-ending hole, even though technically at the bottom of that hole is indeed a point, which would be the singularity.
So, do we know how strong black holes are? Like, is there a way to like rate their power of suckage? Like how much?
It's not comprehensible to the human mind because we've never experienced anything like that. Yeah, right. Something that's so powerful that you'd have to go faster than the speed of light to escape it.
Now, is it correct that it is in relation to their size? Like the more they eat, the more they can eat. The bigger they grow, the more they weigh, kind of deal.
Yeah,
it's wild. They're like giants.
Yeah,
space whales.
Yeah, and then the other, there's the biggest, I guess, issue with black holes when people talk about black holes is the black hole information paradox.
Yeah.
So it's the problem that occurs when you try to apply quantum mechanics or general relativity to the equation of what's going on inside a black hole. Calculations using modern physics tell you that the physical data would be destroyed, at least beyond any recognition. But lately, much of the scientific community is considering the possibility of wormholes, which is like a tunnel in space-time. So like I said earlier, it's generally considered possible, even within, general relativity, and especially in string theory, but it's never really been observed. The reason for the theory is relevant is because without this theory, a black hole would increase in entropy endlessly, absorbing all that it could until eventually one day the entire universe would be consumed by one ultimate black hole that would create the ultimate singularity. And this is where string theory kind of comes into play because the projected idea of the wormhole exists within the fourth dimension. And because of that, it's just out of reach from us. We cannot reach the fourth dimension because we are three-dimensional. We live in a three-dimensional world. So for the foreseeable future, we just won't have that answer. And this is just as, a 2D object can't experience the third dimension. When we do an episode on string theory specifically, I'll go into more details about like the 10-dimensional things that the string theory revolves around.
I don't get it.
Oh, it's really
you've broken it down for me multiple times. Like every time I feel like I get a little closer to getting it, but it doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Well, you're not really supposed to past a certain point. It just becomes theories and ideas because it's not conceivable past like 6 or 7. It doesn't make sense to the human mind. So
it's like if exponents.
Yeah.
It's just multiple. Yeah.
If wormholes are in fact a creation of black holes, then the data that enters a black hole is not destroyed. Instead, it would be warped to another place in space-time.
What if everything came out like the Bizarro version? Like Superman's Bizarro? Like they're all fucking mutated?
That would be some dope shit.
Everything's backwards and shit.
Actually, I have some theories on that I have a little bit further on later. We're going to be talking about some fun ideas and theories, but
yeah,
it's based on something along that line.
Cool. Should I do what they're made of?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Watch me stumble on a bunch of words real quick. So what are black holes made of? Since these things are stars, they are made of the same thing as nearly everything else in the universe, including us. Which is so fucking weird how things can be made of the same elements, but in different combinations can be so different. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
The elements of our bodies were formed in stars over the course of billions of years and multiple star lifetimes. Humans are made of stardust. Humans and their galaxy have about 97% of the same kind of atoms. The crucial elements for life on Earth, the building blocks of life, are carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur. These are, unsurprisingly, the most common elements found in the universe. Astronomers can find and measure these elements using a spectrograph. Each element emits distinct wavelengths of light from within a star, and they measure the depth of the black and bright patches in each star's light spectrum to figure out what it's made of. I was watching something on that where they, they're getting these fucking X-ray photos and they can tell from... It's so crazy to be able to tell from the data of a picture, what something's composed of.
Yeah, that's how they do the colorings of like the space photos too, by figuring out what it is and then applying color to it.
Is that what they do for like the Technicolor or like recoloring black and white film? Is that like running through?
No, it's very different. Like they're not using X-rays and shit for that. They're just
right.
I'm pretty sure they're just guessing.
But I'd imagine they use like a similar principle in like the algorithms that help them. You know what I mean by like the depth of pixels, black or white, to figure out the colors.
Yeah, I can see that.
Some similarity, maybe. A spectrograph collects light in the near infrared part of the electromagnetic spectrum and disperses it like a prism to reveal signatures of different elements in the atmospheres of stars. There are 10 times more stars in the night sky than grains of sand in the world's deserts, beaches, the whole fucking world. That stat has always like fucked me up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
it's impossible to think of.
You know how much sand there is?
There's so much fucking sand. This planet is basically sand.
Right. And like, man, I wish we could see more stars. Like that feeling you have of when you can see, like, it feels like you're both so alone, but that there's infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
When you can see into the fucking heavens like that. It's crazy. Right. I can't imagine. Like, it's impossible for us to imagine how many places that is. Astronomers have worked out that there are 70,000 million or 7 followed by 22 zeros stars visible from Earth through telescopes.
And that's just what's visible to us.
Yeah, and that's probably like, realistically, that's like a small percentage. I imagine. Dude, that's fucking crazy.
It's really wild. It's you know, it's humbling in such a strong way that I find comfort in. I don't want to, you know, I think that's one of the reasons I've never really subscribed to religion, is I feel like I'm comfortable with the idea of not knowing what's going on, and I'm comfortable with like knowing what we do, that, you know, we're so insignificant because of that. Even in you know, while we're talking about religion, the Bible used the phrase in Genesis, after Adam and Eve disobey God and sin's curse spreads to all in creation. God tells Adam, "By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken. For you are dust, and to dust you shall return."
Yeah. And I hate that so much.
Right.
I do like the idea of that quote, meaning you just get to eat bread forever.
Right.
Just as man was fashioned from the dust of the ground, man was cursed to experience death and decay, returning to dust.
You know, eternally at Panera. It's your Sisyphean curse. You eat so much bread, but you never get full.
You stay at Panera till you turn to dust, you piece of shit.
There's a phrase from the burial service in the Book of Common Prayer. We therefore commit this body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life. And it's you know, it's along that message of, you know, I don't think it was meant to be that way, but it still speaks to, you know, we're made of the star stuff. We're all made of the same shit. You come from what you come from, you shall return. Yeah,
and I heard these similar phrases like all the time as a kid. Like, you know, unfortunately growing up in the church, but I think it's kind of a romantic thought that, you know, ash to ash, dust to dust, whatever, you return back to the earth. But I don't know, ash doesn't sound good. And
it's carbon.
Yeah, I just think we're meant to be more than from just the earth. Or
right.
that there's something else. Or
more. Yeah, no. Our molecules are the same molecules that, you know, burst out of a star. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Every day you drink dinosaur piss.
Yeah. Exactly. Stars are often like thought of, I think, as infinite or eternal beings. And I definitely could see, like, in the old days, like, why it would be easy to, like, worship a star or the sun.
Yeah. You know, and people thought, you know, even when, you know, they thought they were painted on by, you know, one of the gods or something. It was a gift.
Right. This beautiful mural for you to observe or whatever.
Yeah. They're there to guide you, you know, when you travel, and they're always there for, it's the same, you know, rotation that you see.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
With the like direction, you know, North Star kind of shit. They're like diamonds where they're forged from time, heat, and pressure. And I really like the idea of like adversity makes shiny shit.
Yeah.
Like pressure makes diamonds, you know. You need the difficult times for good times.
Yeah, you come out stronger on the other end.
Yeah, and our bones are hardened by stardust, and our blood feeds the sky.
It's beautiful.
Nothing is forever. Everything is temporary. Everything ends. Do you think there's any form of like a fountain of youth, like treasures in the stars, things that could change?
It's definitely a fun idea to think of. I don't, it's one of those things where there are so many people in the world of science and the scientists and shit that would like, well, there's no observable evidence for it, so why even consider it? But it's like, cause it's fun and it doesn't make any difference to us. Cause we're going to die before we, the human race will kill itself out before we ever have the technology to search that far into space.
Yeah. Thought experiments. Now, what about Easter's coming up? That dirty desert wizard gets his own day, where he resurrects,
stolen from the pagans.
Right? Do you think so? Stars becoming black holes. It's like they're going through a form of resurrection.
Yeah, it's a new life that they've taken on. And there's usually, there's some kind of new, something that comes from when stars die typically, but the black holes are something different. There's such a force to be reckoned with.
What if they were like negative karma magnets?
I mean, that would be dope. I mean, so wait, would you say that they would be attracted to negative karma, or they are absorbing negative karma?
I'm thinking they absorb negative. Well, like only evil things are meant to go.
Then we need to get one up here stat.
Yeah, and just start feeding it. Or what if
just feed it all the bad people, all the shitty people?
It would be like the Mayan sacrifice. Like you throw them, to the wolf. You throw them in
put them in a ship. Fucking send them out.
Space execution. What if how Hunter S. Thompson had his ashes crystallized and shot into space? What if you could plan like a space burial where you're shipped off, where they float your body and you're already dead. They float your body through space and they try to put you on the trajectory to the black hole.
I would love that. That'd be incredible.
So cool. I mean, you're probably going to get dinged out of that trajectory over that long of a distance.
I mean, maybe. NASA's pretty dope. They do some wild shit.
They just got to shoot you real fast. But everything's at the same rate in space, right? How does that work?
Oh, you mean like speed?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it depends on the speed that it has taken off. I forget how fucking it was a ridiculous amount of the camera they sent out to get the picture of Pluto. It was going really absurdly fast. I want to say 300 miles an hour or more, but I feel like it was more than that as it passed Jupiter.
God, they just snapped that shot real quick, huh?
What was that? That was New Horizons, right?
That sounds right.
Let's see. Relative to, I was super far off. Directly to an Earth and solar escape trajectory with a speed of about 36,000 miles per hour.
Are you serious?
It's the fastest man-made object ever launched from Earth.
Dude, that shutter speed must have been off the chain.
Now, I think, let me look, because it might have slowed down as it went.
Dude, like some propulsion resistance kind of deal.
It slowed down a little bit, but it was still going. What is it? AUs. It's the was an average unit or something like that. It's the distance between the Earth and the Sun. It was still going 30 average units between every 5 years.
I don't understand that.
It's incredibly fast. It's very, very fast.
That's wild. Dude, I really love the idea of our blood going back to the stars. Like that we're made from the same thing everything else is. Or that the elements that made up our body came from meteors and shit like that.
Yeah, it's, you know, and it's a really cool idea, especially when, you know, you look at like what string theory is about and stuff like that. It's you know, all these molecules that are just, they're fucking vibrating, and they just happen to be in this place connected with this structure, and they're, you know, changing off all the time, you know. Actually, I just got this book. I'll probably mention it on the next one after I read some more of it. But one of the first things it's on like the first or second page said, you know, how so much of your body is oxygen. It's like 60% of your body is oxygen or something like that, and hydrogen. And you think like, why? How is something so light and airy, you know, making me so heavy? But it's just because of the bond. When it bonds with hydrogen, it becomes water. And it's like something,
Gotcha.
these two things that are so immensely light, you know, create one of the heaviest things that, you know, build a people.
Yeah, I was listening to some fitness scientist dude talk about like the misconceptions of like weight loss, where like people think, you know, if you work out real hard, you're actually burning calories by expending energy, whatever. And it's more like less calories are fueling your body, so weight's actually leaving you in the form of water and carbon dioxide. You know, and
I read that before. That kind of surprised me that the number one part of weight loss is through carbon dioxide.
Right.
You know, like it's as far as like a waste from your body.
Yeah, it's the output of that negative output of energy is expended as carbon dioxide.
Just be shitting out all them fat rolls.
Now, all right, I got one for you.
Okay.
Astronaut Ricky is working on the space station.
Okay.
You're all buckled in. You're fixing.
This is Trailer Park Boy Ricky, right? we're trying to refocculate the lasers over here.
Right. You're working on you become unhooked.
Oh, good.
You're floating. You're nowhere. No one knows you're gone. They're busy, and you're just up there alone. You're floating away, slowly spinning. But you have, let's say you have an oxygen system that lasts forever, and you somehow have like a food system where you don't have to worry about calories.
So I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, you're not gonna freeze to death. You're cozy as a bug.
I'm going Space Odyssey shit.
Straight Space Odyssey. What do you do? You're just gonna be floating there forever. I guess there could be a small chance with enough time you get hit by shit or space junk or rocks, but you're just floating infinitely. The ultimate jail cell. Just floating away. Maybe you hit a black hole. Someday.
It would be with all good luck. It would be probably initial panic, and then once I've succumbed to the idea of how useless it is and that there is no rescuing me, then I don't know, man. I guess then depression kicks in. And
do you bite the fake tooth with cyanide in it? Do you come up? They do that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I might write it out for a while. You know, it depends on, you know, how the view was and where it's taking me, and if I'm, you know, I have food, or, you know, I have nutrition and whatever, you know, in this hypothetical situation, I would ride it out for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. You're not going to atrophy. You're going to stay healthy, and it's just you're stuck in your mind prison.
I'd be the first man to figure out how to swim in space and actually get back home and then burn up in the atmosphere. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. I'm going to tell everyone about this wild story that happened to me.
But I really like the idea of like, I don't know. It's kind of like being in a coma or something because you're stuck in your body that's out of your control. And like, I really think all of life is learning how to die.
Yeah.
But to be stuck in a situation where it's totally outside of your control and it's just your mind.
I think there's actually a Between the Buried and Me album about this. One of the Parallax albums is.
That sounds fun.
Like talk about something, not talk about, but something in the lyrics. I might have the story wrong on that, but it's, concept music.
I feel like there could be a bliss in the inevitable insanity, but I also feel like some people could find total Zen peace in it.
Yeah.
God, it'd be hard though.
Yeah, it would be hard. It would get old really fast, I think. Comparatively, I think it would, within a couple weeks or so, it would be like, okay, but now what? Like, what do you do? And then, like, after futile attempts to do shit and realizing how insignificant you are there and how there's, no real pleasures for you to enjoy here besides the fucking view. It only takes a couple bad thoughts at that point to hit that cyanide tooth.
What if you're spinning this whole time, right? Super fast. And you're gonna live except if you puke too much and your whole suit fills with your puke.
And I drown in puke.
They find you like
now that's
10,
a Cannibal Corpse song.
They find you like 10,000 years from now, and they take your helmet. Like, oh my god! And they take your helmet off, and it's just
perfectly preserved.
What did he do?
That would be like scaphicism and puke.
Man, I feel like I would have to try to make peace with the situation. Like, you'd have to accept it.
Yeah.
And enjoy whatever thoughts you could. And then I feel like I would, like, when you're past the point of no hope, like, I feel like I'd be bashing that helmet in. Like, you'd have to find a way to end it.
Yeah.
It's like the immortality shit. Like, you can't live forever.
Yeah, exactly. That would be awful.
Be terrible. Now, do you have any... It could be astronaut, hypothetical, or you could be, what's his name, stuck on Castaway on the island with Wilson.
Yeah.
It's Ricky Wilson.
Ricky Wilson. I think didn't we go to school with a Ricky Wilson?
I don't know. Did we? Do you have any certain memories you could go back to? Is that happy place, or do you have like a memory palace kind of thing, like something you could go back to that could buy you time for rescue?
I think so. I think in general I have, despite myself, I have an optimistic outlook on life.
You definitely do.
And I don't understand why I do, because I don't feel like
cynical.
I don't feel like I don't feel like I should.
But you do.
I don't see any reason to have an optimistic outlook on life, but it's just easier to. So I think I could. Also, I'm glad you mentioned Memory Palace, because we said it in a different episode, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And I realized that my Memory Palace is the walk-in restaurant, or the walk-in refrigerator at all restaurants. Because you can ask anyone that's ever gone in one, as soon as you walk in, you forget why you're in there. And
that's really funny. I was going to say, what do you put on each shelf? Do you have memories, or does the refrigerator take you to the next room? No,
it just steals it. It steals it away. It steals all the memory.
You lock the vault and forget it.
Yeah. I do have. So earlier I was talking about the theory about the wormhole kind of thing.
What? Do you got a memory?
I
I was just I wanted to see if you had like or even like a A thing you can go to that
like
gives you like will to live. Shit.
Specifically one thing. I don't know. I think of like my family and shit.
Yeah.
Found and otherwise. But like a specific memory off the top of my head, nah. I'm sure in that time I would remember something though, and latch on to one fucking.
Like in movies, it's always like they got the little montage of shit to keep them alive.
Yeah,
you know,
the floating in space montage. It's just the same thing but different backdrops.
We should prepare a montage video for when we're stuck in space. Dude, I'm kind of with you. I feel like there's certain things, but it's more like I feel like I get the feelings of things more than the specific thought.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm selfish. I don't know if I'd be. Like, oh, I remember that time it felt real good. That was a while ago.
No, because I feel like it's the same. It's like I think about, because when I say I think about like my family and stuff, it's like it's the same things that have been like, the things that prevent you from like, committing suicide or something. It's literally the same question you're asking. So it's just like, but what if I never, what are they going to do without me? Or like, how are they going to, not what are they going to do without me, but like, this is going to tear them apart if I'm gone.
Right.
Kind of thing. And it's that guilt, I think, that usually is was the reason that I, pulled from when, if I, darker times. So I don't know. I feel like it's the emotion, the feeling thing. I get that.
Dude, I'm 100% with you on that train of thought. Because like I'm doing pretty okay currently. But for most of my life, there was no reason I mean, there were lots of reasons, but nothing that could overpower like the want to die.
Right.
But after I heard someone describe suicide as a bomb that goes off, and it's the people closest to it are just mangled by it.
Yeah.
And it's like after going through that with someone close to me, it's like you just can't do it.
Yeah.
You just can't do it to the people around you. And I feel like as bad as that free fall through space, I mean, space would be different because it's a hopeless situation. But if in situations you're cast away on an island, if there's a chance of any form of hope, it's like if you love the people around you, you just have to try.
But if you see a polar bear, you might as well end it now because you're probably in purgatory.
Dude, I would love to fight dying. I would love to die fighting a bear. I want to die fighting an animal.
I mean, that's fair. Like I said, I don't want to be eaten alive. That's a thing. If I can die before they, I mean, that's usually what animals do is they actually go for the kill. So, because they don't want you to potentially get away or whatever. Yeah.
Unless it's a big cat where they just play with you while you're half dead for a day. That's brutal.
Did you hear one of there's one guy that got in 2 different fights with like 2 different bears, or probably more than that. I forget how the fucking story went, but the way he got away was by shoving his whole arm down the bear's throat. I
did see that one. That's insane.
Yeah, that's some wild shit. That's some ballsy move right there.
Yeah. Did you watch The Gray by any chance?
No.
Ah, man, that's a really good one. It's Liam Neeson.
Okay.
And he's a sniper he was like in the military, and then they think he got out, and he's a sniper in Alaska, and he's one of those dudes that protects their village from the wolves.
Mm-hmm.
And his like wife or family's dead, and he's on a plane flight for some reason, and it goes down, and the whole movie is just him alone in the snow.
Oh, wow.
So you're just like watching him try to survive and like going through his thoughts and emotions. But spoiler alert, the movie ends with him just fighting a wolf.
Nice.
And it's one of those cliff ending kind of twisty deals, but it's a beautiful. I would love to die fighting a wolf in the snow.
Fair.
Something epic, you know?
Yeah, something that, you know, even if it doesn't resonate for other people, was like the adrenaline rush during that moment for you is like,
yeah, or
it's that
just
Valhalla
like,
moment.
Yeah, like true, like primal death, where you're like, I was a human, like I lived, I died, I struggled, but I went out like trying to do something. I don't know.
Like an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The very nature by what we are.
Exactly. So, all right, you got other fun theories.
Yeah.
Break them off.
So we were talking about, you know, like people coming out on the other side of the wormhole. So the idea, so when I was younger, of course, I thought black holes were, you know, like wormholes. And I was thinking, you know, like, well, what if that's how you get to different, you know, universes or different, you know, yeah, I guess universes, you know, different dimensions and stuff like that is by going through wormholes. And technically it's right because you have to, you know, cross into that to get to the next dimension. But of course in my head, it's the idea that, you know, I guess the way they portrayed different dimensions and stuff when we were kids, where it's like, it's the same, but it's different.
Question.
Yeah.
Are dimensions actual places? Or it's not scientifically, right?
No, it's like
a space-time kind of deal.
Yeah. So like, you know, like even like second and third dimension is, it's, you know, it's spatial.
It's like a perspective, not a place.
And then fourth dimension is just if you take every moment in time, like the smallest increment that you could, you know, possibly conceive of time, and, you know, encapsulate it in like a bubble kind of thing, that is, and then you make like a line of those, like that's what time is. It's a series of you know, micro moments, and that's the fourth dimension.
See, I hate that. I don't get it. I don't like the fourth dimension.
It's
I'm good with the first three. The fourth one of the series.
Oh, that's not even where it gets wild.
I lost the plot. I know. After 4, I'm done. Done for.
The other cool one I always thought, and I'm sure someone else out there has thought of this, or there's a theory on it or something, that's more clean and, you know, well polished than this, or they thought through it enough to actually do the math on it and realize it was bullshit. But I haven't done that. So, if a black hole is exactly that, it's the black star, then it is going to continuously gain entropy and suck everything in around it. And then, like literally everything. And then it just would infinitely, you know, compound on itself within its own gravity and mass, and then it has to go somewhere. So what happens when a black hole explodes? And you know, like a bomb.
So
the Big Bang.
But that's interesting. I feel like there's so many of them. I don't know how big of a bang it is. Like, could there be multiple?
No,
Big
that's what I'm saying. Is it wouldn't be multiple of them. It would be after there is only one black hole that has absorbed everything.
Oh.
After it's compounded and taken in everything,
right?
Everything in the universe, and then fucking pow, it releases.
I like it.
I mean, you know, otherwise, where the fuck did Big Bang come from?
Yeah,
it came from everything. Everything that exists came from that explosion.
See, I've never been a fan of the Big Bang.
It's the one that it's the theory that makes the most sense.
I'm not a fan.
Now, why is that?
Seems like a hacky concept. Like they couldn't have wrote anything better. Like, oh, it was a big bomb. Now we're here.
There's cosmic X-rays that they can tell that it all originated from a certain point, and they can tell like the speed at which it happened. Kind of shit. Like, I don't know, man.
I don't buy it. What if
Dr. Professor Steven doesn't agree?
The doctor professor isn't buying it. What about
when they say 9 out of 10 doctors agree, 9 out of 10 scientists agree? Steven's the one.
Like, need a little more evidence. What if that one place where the origins, like the Big Bang origins, the one place it all came, what if it was like that was the heavens? Or if black holes were like the portals to hell or other, you know what I mean?
Well, the other thought that I had was if we do have wormholes, then everything coming out of it, whether it's like compacted or something inside of a black hole, and then
Pandora's box.
Once the wormhole opens, then it's the Big Bang. Then it's the explosion.
Right. It's like straight Pandora's box if a black hole ever opened.
Oh, yeah.
What if there were actually worms that went through the wormhole?
That would be dope. I don't know, Steven. What if?
Oh, those big space worms. Those would be the real space whales.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, space whales. Oh, fuck.
All right, now what about dark matter? Is that real or not, or is that just
with general relativity, dark matter makes sense. So the I forget the proportions, but it's like 25% is of the universe is dark matter, and like 10 or 12% is, regular matter, and then the rest, like the 60 some odd other percent is dark energy. So there's this controversy with the way that galaxies work. There's a lot of mass around the outside, which is weird because you would think that all the gravity would be drawn inward. Center. Towards right. the thing. So there's...
Is that part of the expanding theory?
No. So this is just part of, so they're trying to figure out, why is all this mass hanging out here unless there's something that's holding it there, and that's dark matter. So...
Kind of sounds like the rim of a glass of water.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the force that's got enough mass to hold in all this other matter with its own gravity, but we just can't see it. So under general relativity that works, but they're trying to figure out different ways to see the universe and understand gravity where it doesn't involve dark matter. So there's a newer theory where they went back and they took, instead of using Einstein's theory of relativity, which is based on Newton's theory of gravity, they took away relativity and they went back to Newton. They started from scratch with his, and they based theories and calculations along that, and they were able to come up with not a simulation, a formula that works for gravity without having dark matter be necessary.
Gotcha.
And it's complicated, so I don't understand it entirely. It's newer.
It's a question mark on if it exists.
Right? Oh yeah.
Have you read his Dark Materials, the Golden Compass series?
No.
They're kind of made for kids or young adults, but they were my favorite book series as a kid, and it's actually, they're really fucking dark for kid-ish books, but the whole thing revolves around the battle between the authority, the magisterium, the church, and dark matter, science first religion. You'd enjoy it a lot.
It sounds dope.
You'd like it a lot. The HBO series that they just made on it's very good too.
I got one more wild theory.
Okay.
And this one, I've always liked this idea. I think it's a really fun concept. So just like, we've recently discovered, within quantum mechanics that, we used to think that atoms were the smallest that, the shit got. And then we realized that even
subatomic.
Yeah, the subatomic, the quarks and, shit like that, like there exists a world beneath that. So like, where does it end? And then you look at, I guess out in space, you see similar, I guess, arrangements of, how things are held together and bonded together. And I thought this theory ever since I was a kid. I really like this, like grade school shit. Like what if we are like, planets and stars and shit like that are, as to, we are as to a, or I should say like the subatomic shit is to us what we are to something else, something larger and bigger than us. We make up the molecular structure, for lack of a better term, of something else that's much larger than us. That
of the Goliath.
Yeah, so like that's what the dark energy is that bonds us. It's because like it's just a fucking a piece of a giant's toenail or, some shit like that, that's just, or, not even a living creature, just, in the side of a landscape somewhere. And it's so much more vast than we could ever imagine. And that, shit like that, I think is
I've always loved that infinite zoom out.
Yeah.
View.
Yeah.
It's like the end of Men in Black where the aliens are shooting pool with the planets.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Now what about the solar wind stuff? Have you heard any of the theories on that? There was a better term for it, but where like, what if like solar winds of like dark matter or different energies, things we can't perceive or see yet, are the influencing factors on our life, where like things from space flowing through us like cause our emotions or thoughts, or you know what I mean, influence us in ways we can't imagine.
And I want to take a second for anybody that heard that and thought of astrology, because that's not what you're talking about.
No.
So it's like you're talking about a literal reaction from fuck astrology.
Yeah, like chemical reactions from
a
solar wind of a energy form we can't imagine.
I think it's definitely a good idea. I don't see anything wrong with it's definitely worth looking into.
I heard someone, it's actually the only guy or singer from Velvet Acid Christ, the band.
Oh, yeah.
I think he had described it as the X-rays of angels, like different forms of solar things throughout the galaxy that affect us in ways we can't imagine.
Yeah, it's radiation, there's a nuclear reaction happening on the sun. And there are people that say like, oh, the moon's full, like that doesn't fucking mean anything. That kind of stuff, like that doesn't have any effect. Like when it
is interesting that there are violent spikes with the moon. Like that's a thing.
And I feel like that's, equated some with, there's more light. I guess not within a city. I was going to say there's more light out. More. Yeah.
You can see the crime better.
Yeah, you can see.
Oh, it's full moon. I can see all the crime tonight.
Oh, thank God. I wouldn't have been able to stab that guy if I couldn't see him very clearly.
But there really could be, that sounds so absurd, but there really could be like real reasons why that is an effect.
Yeah.
Like on the scale of the world, that there's something where even just being able to see the moon as a more full light source just changes something slightly in the brain, or that there's more of something emitted that we don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's, I think it's enough that merits, especially if there is a pattern of violent strikes with people, during those times, then it's definitely merits, some review. But I definitely don't think it's going to be a commonly held belief, and I don't think a lot of people are going to be, because, unless there's a better way to measure it,
right,
then there's really not a whole lot you can do about it.
So I believe there are studies on the lunar effect and violence, but I don't think there's been anything.
Well, that's when the werewolves come out, Steven.
It's like the red dragon. It's the chance to bathe in blood in the perfect darkness. I had one more for you. What was when you think about, because you think about these things, I think of things, I think a lot more emotionally than you do logically in the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
What level of free will do you think we have in, I don't know, an astrophysical sense, or
on a cosmological scale?
Yeah.
Entire free will.
I've heard you say that in general with life, because that's something I agree with. But I do think in the limits of biology or science, there are a lot of things affecting our free will.
Like the fact that I can't jump to the moon because of gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
right on that. And those would be the laws of nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, beyond what you physically cannot muster. I mean, we break barriers all the time with technology and stuff. So,
but you don't feel like there's factors like scientific factors
actively, like, you mean like actively playing? Okay, then no, not really. I don't
think so either. I think a lot of people, like even with the astrology and a lot of the occult dumb shit, there's so much. And to be clear, astrology is a lot dumber than occult shit. But there's a lot of like, I don't know, excuse from responsibility or choice or will in giving the external factors too much power.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you choose that there are all of these factors that influence us, it's like you're just choosing to give up a bunch of will too.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that.
I like the idea that black holes could be purgatories.
It's definitely a fun idea.
There's a train station in there, and all the ghosts are waiting for their space train. And then the big worm pulls up, and they hop on the big space worm, and they go to the fourth dimension.
It's not actually a worm; it's a cat bus.
Magic school bus, motherfucker. All right, what is Whoville theory?
Oh, the Whoville thing was the we are the molecules.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
That's one of the most fun. I love those.
Yeah.
What would you want to be a part of if you were a cell in an omnipotent or massive Goliathan big being? What would you want to be a little piece of?
Some kind of plant.
That was a good answer.
Like a leaf.
I like poison ivy.
Yeah. Just knowing that you could cause harm.
Yeah, it got me really bad last year, and I had a whole new respect for it.
That fucking leaf really fucked me up. Respect, man.
Head to toe. I was clearing out this field, and I was using weed whacker.
Yeah.
And I had just gotten a new tattoo, and I was cutting down like
I remember
maybe, like,
this.
a quarter acre of 6-foot tall grass with poison ivy growing everywhere, and it splattered my entire body. I was itching for weeks.
Yeah,
weeks.
I haven't had the pleasure in a very long time.
I could see you. I don't think you'd be a poison plant. I think you'd be a thorny plant with fruit.
Oh, I was just thinking like a fern, like just a tip of a leaf of a fern.
Oh, that's so cool.
Just in a jungle or something.
I wonder what the space jungle would be like.
Yeah, exactly. And then that leaf is so outnumbered by all the life around it, and then on its planet, and then that planet is outnumbered by all the other planets and stars, and the cycle begins again.
That sounds so much fun. I think some sort of amphibian.
Oh yeah,
a salamander. Dude, those 6-foot Japanese salamanders. They're 6 feet long, like an alligator.
That's fucked up.
And their limbs regrow.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I remember seeing them.
I think they're called like the Great Red, or the Gray. They're so cool. But it would be so cool, like so many people with religious faith have that that assurance that they are a part of something bigger than themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And for lots of different reasons, I feel like we are our own gods, or that I choose to be my own.
Yeah.
But maybe part of that is out of bitterness of not being part of something bigger. But I don't believe in anything bigger.
All you can believe in then is yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's 100% where I'm at. But having that feeling of being, I mean, that's what, social interaction is, being part of a group, a clan, tribe, whatever. It's all part of that feeling of being bigger, part of something bigger.
Yeah.
And knowing you were like a cell of something with a bigger purpose would be very fulfilling. Even if you were just a fern in the alien's living room.
It's very necessary for good mental health, at least a little bit, even if you're introverted.
Yeah. Now, what about space mining?
Asteroid mining.
We need alternative sources of cobalt and rare metals.
Yeah. I mean, it's the next frontier, right? It's the next big thing. The next industry is.
It's starting.
Yeah.
There's companies doing it now. It's interesting. I heard somebody do a breakdown of like, no matter how progressive or like earth friendly you are, or all those things, if you have a phone, you're still such a hypocrite. All your other attempts, like you don't eat meat, all those things, like you don't, you want to try to be the best person you could be. Even if you just have a cell phone, you're undoing so much work, and it's all like lip service.
Yeah. Because
of the evils involved in just creating one phone. Those cobalt mines are hell on earth.
I feel like while that may be somewhat true, somewhat. I feel like, it's to the, what we talked about before, the evolution of humans, like what's next. And it's a part of what's next is like to be an active member in society, just to, be a good employee and be able to be contacted about your job and shit like that. Like you need a phone of some type.
Right.
And why would you have a landline when you can have one that you can, have with you when you take the bus to work? And then if something happens, they can call you or, whatever. Just like even like on such a basic necessary level like that.
But it's like the same thing with coffee or cocoa beans and shit. It's like
yeah.
It's interesting because you could be doing such good positive things with your life, but the things that, like coffee or a phone, that you need to be a person and function in society today, to do good things, down the line is the cause of like so much evil, and potential enslavement of other human beings. Like the system of just being a person has become
capitalism.
It's just become so fucked up.
Yeah.
So there's all these possibilities with mining the stars that potentially could be the answers to a lot of things. Because like
until we take everything from the stars, we couldn't take everything from the stars.
That's the good and bad point though, because it's like we never could mine all the stars, but we, our renewable resources on Earth won't be forever. And what happens if, we push to the stars and we eat up all the resources in the stars near us? It's like, are we just a cancer spreading through the galaxy? Does the black hole need to eat us?
I mean, yeah. I kind of do think that, yeah.
It's weird.
We are the flood from Halo.
All right. What about do you have any take it a different way, event horizons in your life? You get sucked into the orbit of something and every molecule of your being is pointed straight towards one thing and you have no control.
So this is actually a funny story. My most recent job that I held, I started it. The job was offered to me as a part-time situation, just doing some line cooking. It's all scoop and serve, a little bit of prep, easiest job you'll ever have. I had pulled my hamstring at the time, so I was just looking for something simple. I really wasn't even trying to get back into the food industry, but it was a guy I'd worked with before. And I really appreciate, he reached out to me with this job, and it was going to pay the same of any other job that I was looking at. So that hadn't even called me back yet. So I was like, all right, yeah, I need the money. So I started this job, it was just supposed to be an easy gig, and come to find out, within a month or so in that, the manager sucks ass, and everyone's pissed about him, and they're, because he doesn't do anything except fuck around on the phone, and he does order food and sometimes it's late and whatever, but that's the only thing he did. So come to find out that my boss's intention the entire time was to hire me so that I would take over that spot, which felt a little shitty. But, I mean, like I said, I liked the guy. It wasn't a big deal. And he wasn't pressuring me into it. He, asked me if I'd be willing to and, stuff like that beforehand. But I did find out that was his entire intention of hiring me, was that he's going to get in here and he's going to realize that he can run this on his own and he's going to do it. And it was planned for me before I, started. So
he was the god and you were the man.
God damn it, Max. Fucking asshole.
Oh shit. But is there anything else like things that have drawn you in, even if it's like an emotion, something that drew you in that you knew for good or bad that this would be the path, that sense of gravity?
You give me an example and I'll think about it.
For me, relationships definitely have some of that gravity.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. For good and bad. Definitely the biggest one in my life definitely has been drugs, and specifically opiates. that definitely was one of those things where it's like, as soon as I knew, every molecule of my being was like straight ahead. And it was like such a difficult orbit to break. And I think in retrospect, a lot of it was a specifically confusing black hole of sorts, because it makes you think that's the only path. And then I think the most meaningful of which in my life has definitely been creative pursuits and the need to create and make things. You know what I mean? Like
that one I resonate with.
I knew it would, and that's like, whether it's art or fucking building a pool or making this podcast, it's like those things have this event horizon of gravity that will draw me away from all other fucking black holes and like pull me towards where like I know that's, whether there's any success or not, like that's what I'm going to do.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's the passion thing. And I know you've had that definitely with, do you think you've had that with, do you think like cooking has been that form of creation, that passion? Or do you think just making things?
I think I think that is part of making things. Like even like, for me, the act of, making something to eat, it's not just slapping stuff together, although it feels like that sometimes.
You're moving molecules.
Yeah,
baby.
I put thought into it. I think of all the things that I've made before, and I think of different, especially if I'm writing like a menu or something. I love writing menus. Thinking of like, what have I done before? Or what have I had before that I liked? And how can I tweak it to make it mine? Like, what kind of adaptations can I add based on other experiences that I've had that would be good? To, make something that is unique and original. Like we were even talking about doing like caramelized onions. We were talking about changing the menu at one point, doing caramelized onions on the menu. It's like, well, how are we going to do that different though? Like, I'm not just going to do fucking caramelized onions. Like we were talking about doing like a little bit of soy sauce and
God damn it,
some like we were talking for a minute about cardamom or caraway, and I think we landed on caraway.
What's that?
The thing that makes rye bread taste like rye bread. That kind of
I'd like that.
Well, I love caraway.
I'd have to taste it.
Yeah. It's the little seeds on there. That was one of the ones we talked about, but then we never moved forward with that menu anyway, so.
But you definitely have that where like I really like to think of myself as a fighter. Like I want to battle or go against things or like be a warlord in a different life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I want to die fighting a wolf. But the reality is like, I think both of us are softer beings in the sense that our true purposes are to create things.
Yeah.
And it's different. It's the opposite of a black hole.
I thought
we are gods.
Yeah, we are gods.
Space turtles. Just floating in soup. Making ferns in the fourth dimension.
I've come to grips a long time ago that if I could spend the rest of my life in a tiny house on the side of a mountain, and only go into town every now and then to sell, some fucking little wooden ducks that I carved or some stupid shit, and then make my money and then go back away from everyone.
I just pictured you like in a friar tuck sackcloth.
I was
trading
thinking
wooden ducks for grain.
I mean, I was picturing more like Grizzly Adams shit, I guess, but
just muttering to yourself about stars.
Oh,
how's Ricky? Oh, he's doing great. He got that mountain house.
I ain't seen him in 40 years, but I heard he's doing all right.
Bro, I do hope the other house stuff, the real house stuff, works out. That'd be so cool, man.
Yeah. Looking forward to hearing more on that.
Fuck yeah. I think we're kind of winding down. What do you want to talk about next week at all?
Yeah, we got to put something together. We talked about a couple of different things.
I don't even remember a single thing.
We can talk about it after this.
It's our next one's the entertainment, right?
Yeah.
God, so we got to come up with something entertaining.
God damn it.
Fuck, man. I really enjoyed this, though.
This was fun. This was the good balance of informative
smart and not smart.
I mean, I was gonna say informative and entertaining, but yeah, smart and not smart. You nailed it.
Hell yeah. I for real enjoy it because I'm very interested in the subject matter, but I used to be like when I was younger, like very anti-science. I was never like a flat earth non-believer.
You fucking little idiot.
Yeah, I was never one of those, but I always believed in emotion or
magic based, right?
Yeah, over logic, and I've kind of become a hybrid mix between the two. So it's things I'm interested in, but not that I ever would really want to fully understand, but I like being able to discuss it with someone who enjoys it and understands it better, and kind of play with the goofy theoretical aspects of it.
I do like the idea of like the pagan kind of old god, like, using the earth to make, or using nature to make potions and shit like that whole concept. Not really, like potions, I guess isn't the
like
word.
We're human yeast creating an earth snack for a sky giant.
It's earth snack.
Just the puffy pastry in the oven, the space oven.
When you were like a little kid and you'd go outside, take a bunch of mud, put it with some leaves and some sticks, and like, I made a cake.
What about? All right, this the fucked up. What about magnifying glasses as a kid?
What about?
Dude, when you were roasting some ants with the magnifying glass,
yeah. The power that is.
Never felt that strong in my life.
That was the last time I felt true power.
Yeah, it's before you have a real conscience, you're just blasting shit.
We didn't even use a magnifying glass the first time we did it. It was a thing that was part of someone's it was like a book. It was like an educational book, and I had, and my next door neighbor's older brother came out and he showed me, look what you can do with this. Fucking burning it. We're like, that's over with now.
Oh shit.
Murderers.
All right, so we'll figure out next week's before next week.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized how serendipitous this is. I just killed a bunch of ants today. They were ants inside of our house, and they were carrying away one of my piece of my cat's food, and there's a bunch of them together, all hauling one of them. Dude, and I took a.
So strong.
I thought, well, I want to pick them up, but I want to kill them as I do it, so they don't scurry all over the thing and get all over the fucking place. So I got a Lysol wipe, and then I used that to fucking scrape them up. And I thought, well, the disinfectant will probably, if something doesn't kill them, it'll fuck them up at least. And it worked.
Now, this is a non-guilt question. They're bugs, but do you have do you have a guilt response to that?
A little bit. It's minor.
Dude, that's how I am too.
Yeah.
As much as I want
things.
to be a harbinger of death, I still don't want to kill a spider.
Yeah, the spiders are. Yeah, I don't.
Definitely not mammals, but with bugs, sometimes I'll save them. But if I'm in a bad mood, I'm killing them.
If I can't tell what kind of spider it is, I kill it. There's ones up here that look like brown recluses, but they're not. And I found them in my laundry before, and I will smash it. But if I can get it out, I would prefer to do that.
Right. Ants are tricky bastards, man. Some of them got those crazy stings. All right, now we're talking about ants. We should get out of here, huh?
All right. Thanks again for listening, everybody. Thank you to Approaching Human for the use of his music. You can find his work on SoundCloud at Approaching-Human. Make sure to check out the show page at Trashcats Trashcast on Instagram for news and art from the show.
Yep. If you're super bored, you can check out my space art. Not space art. On Instagram at Skyzix, SKYZICX. Definitely, shouts out to Cool Keith, Dr. Octagon. I think there were 2 Fredericks, the paintings, but we'll post those. And I guess shouts out to NASA.
Yeah, man, NASA did the shit, man. NASA's been making kids want to go to space camp since the 80s, 90s. I don't know. I only know the 90s.
We'll see what that weirdo alien Elon Musk gets up to.
All right. Remember to tune in next week for our episode on a thing that we don't know yet, but I'm sure we'll make it fun.
Yep.
That's going to be all for us today. Stay classy. Eat trashy.
See you next time.
Bye.
Woo!